Hi everyone, welcome to another video of our Python series. In this video, I am going to discuss with you one of the another you can say very important concept, and that is nothing but set in Python, right? So here are the topics that you can see. We are going to discuss what is sets, and then we are going to discuss uh, similarly for the previous videos we discussed for list for and for tuples. So similarly here also we are going to discuss how to access the elements from a set, and then how to perform the loop operation, or how you can traverse through a set, right? After that we will be discussing about how some there are basic operations that we have in set, and also we'll be discussing with the some mathematical operation which is going to be important for us in going forward, right? So these are the topics that we are going to discuss today. Hope you guys will enjoy this video, right? So what is sets, right? So we can say set, what we can say sets, it's similar to you can say list, right? So similarly we have seen already in the list. If I take a list, what do? We perform, or we can say we add the data, right? And we use them by using the by enclosing with you can say square braces, right? 1 2 3. So if you have multiple set of data and you want to use them with as a list, then we are using the square braces. But in case of set, what I have to do, I have to use them with the curly braces. That is the difference. But you will be having the same, you will be storing the data, all the data you will be storing, but only one major difference here is we cannot have a duplicate entry in set. Okay, in set we cannot have duplicate entry, is not allowed. Duplicate duplicate entry cannot be there, right? Cannot there. But in case of list we can have, it allows us, it allow duplicate, right? So this is one of the major difference. Okay, so what we got to know, list set is now also a you can say collection of data where we store the data in within a curly braces, and at the same time set do not allows us duplicate entry. Got it? Okay, so here couple of things to remember when we are working with sets, that what all are the things. Let me write down one by one. Okay, we can see sets important things. What is the things are important? We can see the way, or we can say the order of in order of you can see storing the data into a set is not maintained. Okay, so what we can see, the order is not preserved, right? So order, insertion order, you can see insertion order not maintained in set. This is one of the uh, you can say the feature of set. If we are using set, then the insertion order is not going to maintain. Okay, what more we can say over here? Set, you can say you said it do not allows you the duplicate entry, that we what we have told earlier. So we can see duplicate not allowed. You might be having some question that why duplicate entry is not allowed in set, right? Let's discuss one of the more important topic, or you can say more important thing than how memory allocation happened in set, right? How memory allocation happen. Set. So if I talk about, let's say I'm going to store a data into a set, right? My S1, and I'm saying I want to store data, let's say 2, 5, 7, right? So these are the data I'm going to store into a set, right? So if I want to store this data into a set, what happen actually? So what happened in the background actually, we are using a technique called hashing technique. HASHING. This is the technique which is working behind of, or you can see, whatever the data we are going to store into a memory, right? It has a function called underscore underscore hash. Okay. So this is actually working behind of, or any you can say data allocation into a set, right? What it does actually, let's say this is a memory area where we are going to store the data, and inside of this data, what it will do, it will create a bucket, or you can see it will create a location in the memory. Let's say this is my bucket, right? This bucket I want to go into store 2. We, let's say another element I have 5, another element I have 7. So what happened, this hashing technique, this is the technique what it do, it actually take and this allocate this particular data to this memory area, this bucket, or you can say this memory area it is going to store. It create another bucket for the another data, let's say 5 I want to store, it create the bucket for this one. Like this way it allocates the buckets to the element that we are going to store into particular set type of data, right? So here you can see, before Python going to, let's say tomorrow you are going to add one more data into it, let's say I'm going to again add 2. Before we are going to add 2, what Python does actually, Python check if the data is already present or not. Let's say here the data, we can see the bucket for 2 is already there. So what Python will do, Python will not add another data over here, I mean another object will not be created for the same object, for the same data. That's how Python allocate the data. Until unless the data is not a different one, it will not create a different memory space for that particular data. Hope this is clear to you guys. One more thing to you can see, remember here that Python inside of his set we can have only the data which are, you can say, immutable data, right? Which are immutable data only can be stored in set. Okay, what do you mean by immutable data? Like we can say integer is immutable, right? Similarly we can say strings are immutable, right? So similarly we can see tuples, that is also immutable, right? So these are the data. Not only integer, we can take string, or sorry, we can take float, we can take your boolean, right? So this type of data which we can store there inside of a set. But if we talk about the you can say list, right? Or if we talk about some other like dictionary, right? DICTS, these are not immutable, right? So for this reason we cannot store this into a set, right? This is not possible. Clear? So what we can say from here, that as is hash value of an element in the memory area is always going to be same, right? We got to know this is the data 2, 5 or 7, right? And they are storing in the memory area. These are the memory area. Their hash value is always going to be same. So it doesn't matter in which, you can see, order we are entering the data. It is always making this you can set as a order method, right? What I mean, let's say I am saying S1 and I am entering data into this for order 2, 5 and 7 will be always in order. Tomorrow, if you are entering data, let's say S2 and you are entering in this way and 7, it will be automatically converted into this sorted order. So it will be actually converted or stored into a 2, 5 and 7. So this is how you can see the set is the data inside of a set gets stored, right? Let us check this into a practical case, right? Let me go to the you can say Google Colab, and then we will see how it is looks like, right? So I'll be going to Google Colab. Okay, so here let me first introduce create a set, empty set, right? So if I see is we are connected now. So if I say is equal to set, this is a constructor. So it is creating a set constructor, creating an set using set constructor, right? So this is how we can create an empty set. And if I print is, you can see we are getting an empty set, right? Or if you want to print the type of is, let's say I'm printing is, and the same time I want to print the type of is. So you can see we got set and it is set type of set. If you try to, let's see, if you try to use, let's say I'm saying is1 and is equals and I'm using the curly braces, then what happened, right? If you print this s1, you can see we're getting curly braces. But if you try to print the what is the type of s1, right? Let's say I'm interested to see the type of s1, and I'm saying here you can see by using curly braces and I do not have any data, that means I have empty curly braces. So in this case the set is, it is not a set, it is by default going to create as a dictionary here. So can I say by default, uh, by default empty curly braces create and dictionary Python. Okay, so if you want to create a empty you can say set in Python, we have to use this set you can say constructor. You are directly using like similar we know that list, how can we create an empty list, we can create directly this way, right? So if I create this way and if you print let's see I want to print L, okay, and what is the type of it, then it will be actually I should be able to print the list type of list. So you can see by default we can able to create the list with that empty list, and this is type of list. But by default when we are going to create a set with the only curly braces, we are not able to create, it is not actually creating as a set, but it is actually getting as a dictionary, right? To get a empty set we have to use this particular you can see constructor, set constructor I have to call here. Now let's say I want to get a data, I want to create a empty set, sorry, set with a data, right? If I say 20, right? If I run this code now, let's say I'm entering s1 or I want to print the data type as well, right? If I say s1 comma I want to print the data type of s1 as well, right? If I say s1, what is print? It is printing the data, and also at the same time it is saying me that the data is now stored as a set, right? So this is how you can create a set with a single data. Now it's very easy to store create a data with multiple data, create a set with multiple data. If I say s1 is equals within the curly braces, I can take the data, right? You can see we are able to print all the data. So this is how you can print you can create a set and you can all the data, right? Okay, so let me not the type, so you can see we are able to create the data. Now let me talk about another thing what I told just now, the storing mechanism. I told, so let's say I am creating two set with the same parameter, right? I am storing, let's say 10 comma 24 1 0. Let me change it to 16, right? So this is the set I am going to create. I am going to create another set, else I am just changing the order, right? So right now I am going to change the order, let's say 13 10 let's see 23, what's remain 31. So I have two set here over here with the same content, but I have changed the order of the data, right? Now let's try to print. I want to print s1, and after that I want to print s2. Both the set I want to print right now. And if I see h2, now see what is the output. You can see exactly same output we are getting, right? There is no difference, right? So it doesn't matter what is the order of data you have inserted into a set, uh, and the order of the storing it is not always maintaining the sequence, right? You don't know what is the way or what is the order it is going to maintain, right? But it will be always, if your elements are exactly same, then the both the you can say set will be the exactly same order of data. So can I see, if I check is print both the set are same or not? If I say s1 is equal to s2, can I say this? You can see we are getting 2, right? They are actually same object. Or if I say print different way, let's say s1 is, if I print this, here you can see we are getting a different false. Now you can understand that they are not as they are not a same object, but they are containing the same data, right? So from here, can we conclude that this one equals it's checking check the contents of two objects, and at the same time I say this one checks it check the objects are, or okay, so object are same or not, okay. So as we told that we can store um, only mutable, not only immutable type of data into a set, not the mutable type of data, right? So what that does mean, I have told you here, these are the immutable, these are the mutable data type, right? We cannot store this into a set, but these are the mutable data type, we immutable data type, we can store them into a set, right? Let us see some example. So let's say I'm going to create a into set s is equal to, I can store let's say I'm taking a string r, and there I am saying 10 comma 20 comma, you can have, I can take some string as well. So if I see python and then I see java, that is completely fine, right? There is no error. But if I see let's say I want to print s, right? So I'm getting error, no error, right? So similar way I can store tuple as well, because tuple is nothing but a, you can say immutable, right? So I, instead of it s, I can take, let's say s1 is equal to, I can take tuple as well. So I can say 1 comma 2 comma 3. I can take string type of tuple as well. So I can, sorry, I can take, let's see python comma dash java, right? So I can take this way as well. So if you want to print this one, you can print this data. So you can see we are getting the output, right? So there is no error. But if you try to store, you can say list, which is a mutable type of data type. So if you try to store, you should not be able to allowed, right? So let's see an example. So let's say I am storing a type of data type list 1, 2, and 3 here with this, and after that I have some data also. Let's see 10, 23, right? The simplest data set I have right now. You can see we are getting an error because you can see unhashable type list, because the list is changeable. It is a mutable type of data, so I cannot use list inside of this. So can we see from here, mutable type data cannot used it, right? So we cannot use this inside here. Let us check some duplicacy, how uh, if you have some duplicate data, right? So you can say duplicate data. So let's see, I have a string called s equal to 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, and I can have some more data as well. Let's say 45 and 39, right? So here you can see 10, 20, and 30 are repeating twice, right? Both are repeating twice. So as you know that set is not supporting the storing data in multiple times, or you can say duplicate is not allowed. So if I try to print this, you can see there are no duplicate data, right? So all are unique data. So this is one of the big region of use case of set. You have such kind of scenario that you have to ensure that you are not storing a duplicate data, then in that case you will be definitely using the set instead of a list. Got it? So far what we have seen, can we list down all the features of set? Let's see. I can say features of set. What we have learned so far? We have learned that set is unordered, PERED, unordered. And what more we have learned? No duplicacy allowed. Duplicate allowed. Duplicate element not allowed. What else we have learned from the above? You can see questions, that there is no order, in the sense we cannot have the indexes, right? So we can say no index concept, right? What more we can say? We can say um, mutable type of data cannot be stored. Mutable type of data cannot be stored set. This is something we can say from the above examples, right? Now let us see how to access the data from a set, right? How to access data from a set, right? Say accessing data from set. Now as you can see, we do not have the index concept, right? We do not have the index concept for set. So we cannot directly say, hey, give me that set. Let's say I have s is equal to, this is the data I have right now. So if I want to fetch any of the data from this particular, say 0 position number, first number position, we do not have those mechanism. Like if I say 0, you can see we are getting an error. So we cannot fetch, can we say we cannot fetch data from set by using index, right? Can you say that by using index cannot fetch the data from by using index? So that is something we got to know. So as now here you can understand, if we are not able to use the index, so definitely you can also think of that we cannot use the slicing technique over here, right? So can we note it down? We can note down as indexing not available. So can we say indexing not available, slicing is also not possible set, right? So this is something we got to know. Okay, So as you can see, to access we have only one option is pending there, which is using the for loop, right? Now let us see how we can use the you can say loop, right? You can say loop in set, right? So how can we use the loop? So you can understand that initially we have used the while loop and for loop for the list and tuples, right? But here for this case of set, we do not have the index concept, so we cannot use while loop here at all, right? What we can do, we can use the advanced for loop. We can say if, let's say, sorry, for inside of item and item in set is, right, that is my item, and I can print the items, right? So if I print this, you can see we are getting all the elements printed. Now one more interesting thing over here. Let's see, in earlier also we have seen how to use the enumerate function, right, which is giving us wrong. Uh, Let me copy it down. Now you can see earlier example we have used the enumerate function to get the index and the data, right? So similarly, let me try it here over also. So let's see, I can see index comma item in s and in enumerate and s, and then I can print the item and index. You can see we are getting the printed, but here you can see it is giving me the indexes also, right? So the question rises that if it is providing me the index, then why it is not you can see we are not able to access the data from the index, right? That is the question arise, because it is not the indexes you can see over here, this is not the actual index, the way we have inserted the data, right? If you go the definition why we inserted the data into s, initiated the data, to use is the 10 we have inserted at 0th position, right? But is the data at 0th position? No, the index of 10 at how we can see the set right now is 2, right? So similarly in the output also, if you look onto this, you can see the index of 10 is 2. So that is why here the indexes is not you can say signifying, or you can say not indicating the way we have inserted. The indexes are here signifying, or you can say indicating the uh, you can see how the data is going to store there, right? Not the insertion order. So we can see here index is, can we note it down? You can see this is here signifies how data stored is set, not how, not the order of insertion. I hope this is clear to you guys. Now let us see some of the basic operations we can perform through a set. So we can note it down that some of basic operation, some of the basic operation. What all the operations we can perform? Let's see, inside of this set is I want to add some data. So this is my set I have right now, and if I say set dot add, and you can see set dot add, we can add the data. Let's say I'm adding 6, right? So if I add 6, and after that if I print is, you can see 60 is got added into the set. So that means we can add the data in set. The set is you can say mutable, right? You can change the data, right? So can we say set is mutable, right? So can we say that thing that set is mutable, right? we can mention it over here unordered. After that we can set table, because we can update the data, right? Have a set. Similarly, let's see what I can do. I can update the data, or I can add, or if they we can have clear remove method also there. So if you say remove and you pass the data will be get removed, right? So if I print the s right now, you can see we don't have that object 10 over here. So we can add, update and delete all this date, all this operation we can perform over here in the set, right? Now let us try to see if there is a one you can see operation we have, we can change the data. We can create a frozen set. That is something you can create a immutable set. Creating a, let's say I want to create a immutable set. For that we have an option called frozen set, something called frozen set. If you use this frozen set, now you cannot change or add or update the data. Let's say I'm making it is a s1 and s1. Okay, so if you run this now, you can see this is the set which is got created, and it is called as a frozen set. Frozen set is something you cannot change data into it, right? So let me do one thing. If I want to print, or if I want to add some data to s1, if I say dot add, you can see I'm not getting any option. If you want to add 50, you can see we are getting an attribute error. So that means frozen set object has no attribute add, right? So this become it make, or you can it make the set as immutable. Got it? So this will raise, this is not allowed, right? So you can understand now. So if you have to create a frozen set, or if you have to create a immutable set, then you can use the frozen set here, guys. Okay, let us see one more very interesting example. Let us say I want to check set and subset. Okay, the concept of set and subset. Okay, so let's say I have a set s1 is equal to 10, 20, 30 and 40. Another set I have a s2 is called which is containing the data 10 and 20. So here you can see the s2 is containing the two data which is also contained in s1. Can I say that s2 is a subset of s1? Definitely yes. For to check whether S2 is a subset of S1 or not, we have a method called is subset. Okay. So in the left hand side, we will be providing the subset of object, and the right hand side will be providing the superset or the parent set. Right. This one is we can call as a superset, and this one is a subset. So is S2 is a subset of S1, so it will going to return me as true. And the vice versa, if you want to check, let's say if I want to check whether s2 is a superset of s2 or not, so for that we have another method called is superset. We run this code right now, you can see we are getting called result called true. Let's right. So if I change any of the data, let's say I'm changing another data heading over here. Now you see, now this is a complete you can say set which is not a subset of this, right? We have some different data which is not present there in the s1. Now this will be not give me a true result. If I change this, run this now, you can see we are getting false result. So this is how we can check whether a list, or whether a list is a subset of another set, or whether a set is a superset of another set or not, right? Let us see some of the mathematical operation which is very important. uh, let us see how we can perform, or what all are the mathematical operation we can perform by using set. Okay, mathematical operation, what all are the mathematical operation we can perform by using set. Let us take two set. I will say s1 is equal to I'll say s1 is equal to, let's say, I'm taking some data, let's say 10, some random data I'm taking 10, 20 and 30, 40, right, this way. And another s1, s2 I'm going to take as a 2 is equals to, let's say I'm saying 30, 40 and 6, right. I have a two set right now. Here are two set. uh, Among of the two set, you can see some of the data is present in both the set, right. 30 and 40, 30 and 40 are present in s1 and s2 both, right. And some of the data which is present in s1 and some of the data which is not present in s2, right, which is present in s2 but not present in s1, and these two data which is present in s1 but not in s2. So with this, based on this thing, what all the operation we can perform, let's see. Let's say I want to perform the you can say, we want to perform union operation, right. So we can say union operation. So if I want to perform the union operation, you can see there is a method called is union. So if I say s1, sorry, s1 dot and I want to pass s2, right. So if you do so, and I want to print the data, let's say I'm saying print, and instead of this I want to print the s1 dot s2, right. You see, we are getting an error. So how we can do this? We can have union. So if I say union, we can use, instead of union method, we can use, there is symbol called s1 and s2. If I print this now, we're still getting an error. Sorry, it's my bad. I was using a list instead of set, right? So I have to use the set operation. So if I use set operation, and if I run this, now my code should work. Yeah. Okay. Now, although this is not as union operation is something, this element and this element, both the elements should get produced with the result, right? We should not have missed any single data. So we have to actually use OR operator over here. Okay. So this will be performing my, you can say, union operation. If I run this code now, you can see I have all the data which is present in s1. At the same time, I have all the data which is present in s2 as well, right. So it is a combination of them, s1 and s2, and also it is making sure that there is no duplicacy. So whatever the common data, those are getting stored at single time only. 30 and 40, you can see stored at one time only. 30, and here we have 40, right. So similarly, this is the mathematical operation, you can see symbol you can use, or there is another way to perform the union operation. You can use this way also. You can use s1 dot union. Both the way is completely fine, or whatever you prefer, you can go ahead with that approach, right. So similarly, we have seen that union operation. We can see some other operation like intersection. We can see difference, symmetric difference. Let us see intersection, right. So intersection, what is intersection? Intersection is nothing but, you can see, we can have both, we both are the present at the elements which is present in both the set, right. So if I say print, let's say I'm saying print s1 and s2, right, s1 and s2. So here also we have two approach. Either you can use the symbol, which is ampersand and symbol, or you can use the intersection method function. Both is completely fine. You can see it is producing with the command of two set. So here 30 and 40, they are present in both s1 and s2. So intersection provide me that result, which is present in s1 and present in s2, right. Okay. Now let us see another example, which is nothing but, you can say, symmetric difference, right, or you can say difference between two set. So here also we have the symbol minus, and difference is again we have two approach. Either you can go ahead with the minus approach or the difference. So if you run this code now, you can see we are getting result. S1 minus S2 in the sense this one minus this one, means the result which is present at the one which is present at S1 but not in S2, right. So here you can see 10 and 20, the data which is present in S1 which is not there in S2, those will be only the result printed, or the result will be returned, right. So if I want to the opposite one, let's say the ones which is present in S2 but not in S1, so we have to just reverse the sequence of this. So how can we do this? Let's say just copy this and we can see, right, and we have to just reverse the order. So instead of S2 minus S1 minus S2, I have to say S2 minus S1, or similar way here we have to say S2 and difference with S1. But on this code now you can see the result is displaying over here, which is present in S2 and not present in S1, right. Okay. Now there is one more concept which is called as a symmetric difference. Okay. So what is that? I'll tell you. Symmetric, metric, TRIC. So what is that? With that is something like the result which is present in S1 and which is not common. It will actually, let's say I want to check the symmetric difference of S1 and S2, but it will result, it will exclude the common element from both. Okay, so common is 30 and 40, so it will exclude the common 30 and 40, it will produce me the result 10, 20, 50 and 60. Okay, so which is called in the, you can see, outer joining you can consider, right. So similarly if I run over here, you can see it is excluding the, you can see, common elements from both of them. So this is how symmetric difference looks like. So let me just tell you how in the diagram what we have learned here so far. Let's say if I say S1 is equal to, and I store 10, 20, 30 and 40, right, and S2 I have taken as 30, 40, 50 and, right. Now when I say S1 or S1 or symbol and S2, right, what is this? This is nothing but a union operator. So it was producing me like this way. If I consider this is my S1 and this is my S2 and another S2, so it will be produce me the result like this. It will be producing me the result like this way, S2. This is my union operator. Okay. So the result which is present in S1 at the same time which is present in S2, we are going to get the complete result, right. So S1 you can consider this is S1, let's say, and this is S2, let's say this one, right. Now when we say intersection operator, so here for intersection, can we say we are getting the result like symbol we have used for intersection is S1, uh, we have used AND operator, S2, right. So that means the common element of S1 and S2, can we represent it like this way, S1 and S2, the common element of S1 and S2 is this one. So this is the output that we are going to get by S1. When I say S1 and S2, so we are going to get this as a, can say, intersection operation. Similarly, you can understand, let's say I want to check the difference we have talked about, right. You can say difference, right. So when we say difference, in the sense we are going to calculate the S1 minus S2. So S1 minus S2. So when I say S1 minus S2, so isn't it, do you think the data which is there in S1 and not there in S2, so that means this is the data we are going to get as a output. So this is something you can say that is called difference, right? Now, what do you mean by, so similarly you can decide for S2 as well, right? So similarly, when we say symmetric difference, right, which is actually you can see uh, symboled with a S1 and asterisk of S2, and here we can present it this way. Let's say I want to say which is the symmetric area, means which is there in S1 and which is there is S2, right? But which is there in S1 not in S2, and which is there in S2 and not in S1, that means this we call as outer joining, right? So this is nothing but that area which is there in S1 and not in S2, but and the area which is there in S2 and not in S1 here, guys. So this is the output that we are going to get from the symmetric difference here. Okay, so one more thing I want to display over here before we close for today's video. I know it is again getting very lengthy. Just one last thing we can say, unpack the similar thing we have seen for the tuples, right? We can see in set also support the unpack of set. Let's say I have a set called A is equal to, I am saying there are some data we have 10 comma 23 comma 34, right? These are the data we have, and inside of B I have some data. I am storing some data in B also. Let's say I can say 12 comma 30 comma, let's say 20, and then I want to unpick the complete A. This is one set, and to use the unpick we can use the asterisk operation, and then we can again have some of the data, right? We can have let's say 3, and we can have 99, anything, right? Now if you want to print the data B, you can see we have whatever there in the A, this 10 23 34 is now become a, you can see, data of set B, right? So it is a, you can see we are, this is nothing but called as a unpacking set inside of a set, right? Unpack by using asterisk operator. I hope this is clear to you guys, and with this we are going to end this video, guys, and I hope you got something new to from this particular video. If you learned something, I am very happy with that. And if you liked the way I have teaching here, um, and if you do not like, you can suggest me the approach, or you can suggest me how we can teach better way, right? I'll be more happy to hear those kind of comments from you guys. If you have any doubt, question, you can say clarification required, you can definitely feel free to comment, and I will be trying to give you some answer on those things. Okay, and also I'm going to share this you can say collab link in the description part, so if you anytime you can go through this collab file and you can practice for yourself, right? Till then, keep learning, guys. Thank you for watching this video and stay happy. Bye bye.